Say something. Say something.
Hey! Hey! I need you closer, little bulldozer.
Hey guys, I'm Eric Palahovich, and I'm here with Kevin Devine of Kevin Devine fame.
Fame is very. Be careful with that. They might fire you if you, as a journalist, if you use that word to touch this thing.
So, you released your 7th and 8th albums, Bulldozer and Bubblegum, at the end of last year.
Yep.
What prompted the dual release?
We did a Kickstarter to raise the money to make the records and release them on our own, and fund them. I mean, and tour them and like market them and sort of act as our own record label. And I thought it was some other bands have done this before us, but it was something I was thinking about for a while because I think there were sort of two sides of the music that we put out. There's like, and the live band was moving towards this bubblegum sound that was more like spiky and kind of informed by Nirvana and the Pixies and the Breeders and stuff like that.
You can definitely hear it.
Yeah, and then there's this other side that I wouldn't call it folk music, but there's like a sort of acoustic pop sensibility and also a little bit of things like Big Star or like the Lemonheads or Not a Surf, kind of like power pop stuff. So that Bulldozer record kind of became some more of that. And then a little like folk stuff in there too. But I think it was to try to justify the existence of the Kickstarter to me. It was like, I felt so initially strange about asking our audience to like give us money in that way. Even though the audience gives you money in other ways, that one felt that was different. So I thought, well, I'll feel better about it if we make 2 records, and also it'll get to flex like both sides of this thing that this music's become. So that was why we ended up doing it. And also I think doing it on our own, if we had gone into any record label and asked them for $100 grand to make 2 records at the same time and let them have like no say in how they were marketed or toured, they would have been like, you can leave, you know, because we don't sell enough records to justify that kind of thing from a label. So that was all the reasons why, and it turned out, so far it's been amazing. It's really been the best passage of my experience internally of my career so far.
Did anyone say that you were crazy for doing a dual release? Was anyone like,
yeah,
Kevin,
man,
what are you doing?
No, people all the time.
Yeah.
No. No, I think that initially some of the people we work with, I have to say to their credit, the guys who managed this, they were they saw it and they were like, go, do it, cool, whatever you think is the right thing. And they understood its value and also that it was different and would make it part of the story. Some of the people we work with, I think it's just sort of unorthodox, and it makes it some of their jobs a little more, not difficult, they have to be a little bit more creative and patient. Because working 2 records at once means, like for us, it's meant like we're focused. First, we really focused on the Bubblegum record, and that's still kind of, that's been more than the Bulldozer record, and now we're going to put out a song from that as a single.
Okay.
And so it's going to kind of transition into putting a little more emphasis on that record. But it's kind of like going back and forth. And since it's 20-something songs, you can be really, from my perspective, it was like, well, let's work this for 2 years, because you can. The material's there. So I think we're kind of doing something that's a little bit anachronistic in that way, but it's also working so far, so I'm in its way, it's in its own way. So we're just kind of trying to, I don't know if they thought it was nuts. I think there were some people who had misgivings about it making their lives a little bit more difficult, but so far everyone's been on board.
How has the response been? You said it was pretty good, but like, is there anything specific that you've met with fans and stuff and heard? How has it been overall?
I think to this point it seemed like the enthusiasm from the Kickstarter campaign really carried over into the making of the records, and then the way the records got received upon release. And how the tours have gone, like, you know, I'm not specifically a numbers kind of person. My career kind of has existed sort of outside those things. But these are like the 2 highest charting records we've ever had on Billboard when they came out. We had like a charting single on Alt Nation on Sirius, which is never happened before. And the tour was the biggest headlining tour we'd ever done in terms of people coming and buying tickets. So in those very traditional numerical ways, it's the best received of anything we've done so far. I think combined the records are at like 10,000 copies sold, which for a band in our world is quite good. I mean, especially kind of 5 months into the movie now, or 6 months. You know, the world's different in that way now than it was in the mid-90s. I think if these records came out then, like more than 10,000 people know this music.
Yeah.
But that's how many people buy the record. You know, it's a different thing now. That exchange has changed. So, but I mean, also there's non-numerical ways. It just feels like people really warmed to the records quickly and were willing to like accept them as these different pieces of music and different experiments. And I think that the Bubblegum record in specific was really exciting for a lot of people who like our band because I think it's a much more concentrated and adrenalized version of our music than we'd ever really put on a full record before. It's very like punchy, and it's exciting. I think we felt that way making it too. So yeah, I feel like their response has mirrored our enthusiasm, and it's been so far. It's just so. It's cheesy, but it's just been such a overwhelmingly positive experience so far.
I mean, there's multiple ways to gauge the success of the record, and it sounds like all around the musician agrees it's been very successful.
So far, in its way. I mean, it's still not like, you know, we got a lot of really nice press, but there's still places that don't write about it. We did well on tour, but there's still places that don't do as well. You know, like a career like mine is a lot more about like a very gradual development. And so, in perspective, it's enormously successful, but it's still like one step at a time.
It's a work of art.
Yeah, and I think it always is until you stop doing it.
Awesome.